Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah,
It's all about the entertainment, so I hope
everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it.
Look at Johnson! Haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to the PCUP Challenge European Round 10 live from Suzuka. I am James Parfitt, going to be here guiding you through all the action. You just got me this evening due to some unfortunate stuff, sickness. We are basically me solo here tonight, so I hope you all are well and having a wonderful evening and having a fabulous time on this Sunday. Phil across the pond, looking forward to my nightly fix of motorsports. Yeah, there was definitely be a lot of that happening here as well, but we can bring you up the championship standings currently as they are right now before this race. And, well, it's getting very, very exciting. Philip Hammer is on top in the pros with Aidan Young, Vince Paders, Daniel Thomas and Corey Lazarus. They're rounding out the top 5. Samuel Sproul on 299 in 6th. Jaime Ferro in the 7th. Jordan Strudwick 8th. Misha Berger 9th. Spencer Marsh in 10th. Salvatore Guerriento in 11th. Torsten Sievert 12th. Nicholas Nolder is down in 13th with Danny Hugendorn behind him in 14th with Ego Koss behind that as well. Bruno Heirik 16th. Emil Koopmans in 17th and Lee Ho Holmes rounds out the top 18. Yori Steinmetz in 19th, Gordon Ramsay 20th, Tiago Pereira in 21st, Django Val in 22nd, Nicholas Seitz 23rd, Cristiano Zizica 24th, Felipe Straffarelli 25th, Stefan Heineken in 26th, Lars Wotzik 27th, Bernardo Faria in 28th. Young Choi 29th, Dominic Gerber 30th, Beckham Jasir 31st, Patrick Hinkston 32nd, Mervyn Strel 33rd, Franz Mitz 34th, Mikey Howernick down in 35th, Ryan Wilfert, Jürgen Frank and Daniel Valco bringing up the rear there in as well. In the AMS, it is Niall Killen out on top with 252. Alexander Wilfert is in second. There on 237, Noah Wentz in third, Kenny Eckert fourth, Alexander Redhead fifth, Holger Meifert sixth, Stephen Eckerode seventh, Bjorn Ritter eighth, Glenn Humberston ninth, Mark de Bruin 10th, and Brian DeBello 11th, Anna Morrow 12th, Christian Helgeveld the 13th, Nicholas Gayhoff 14th, Alistair Hatcher in 15th, Ivan Bremer 16th, Michael McLeod 17th, and Ryan Walker rounds out the top 18. Dennis Stryper 19th, Monique Heister 20th, Levente Corrali 21st, Rudolf Dombrowski in 22nd, Mark Oliver 23rd, Andrew Plank 24th, and Alfonso Suto is in 25th. But it is Suzuka. 6 configurations this circuit has had over the previous years. 3 that are currently in use today. We've got the Grand Prix circuit that we are using today. We've got the West and the East circuit as well. Now, one of the things I want to bring your attention to is the Motorcycle Grand Prix circuit. Now, people are telling me that runs exactly the same as the Grand Prix circuit. So whereas 5.807 kilometres, 3.6 miles with 18 turns, the Grand Prix circuit is about 5.8 kilometres with 3.61 miles. So it's not a massive difference and only 17 turns. Now that's on the lines of, certain parts of it have been removed for the motorbikes. So technically, it is the same current circuit here. That's why we initially said 6 configurations, 3 in use today. But overall, Suzuka is an absolute stunning circuit here. And isn't it getting close between this man at the top here of Hammer and Peders in second place, and Daniel Thomas currently sitting in third. Going to be exciting. We're going to have to sit back and just think about how well this is going to go, because they've only got 2 rounds left. All right, they've literally only got 2 rounds left this season, and they're going off to Magny-Cours on week 11th and Long Beach in week 12. So that is it. There is no other races here left remaining. So it's Hammer, Young, Peders, and that is it. Thomas is behind him in 4th place. So they are going to have to be careful, and hopefully we'll see how these all got on. Obviously in the American series, it was an absolutely stunning evening of racing there as well. And don't forget, obviously last time out we were at the Nürburgring, where it was Nicholas Nolder, Heinrich Peder, and then it was Hammer, Peders, Thomas. So they're always around the top of the finishing positions. So it's going to be very, very tight, and I think one that they've definitely got to be, eyeing up and looking out for. And they're here tonight. Hammer's here, Peters is here, Thomas is here, and Young's here. So it's going to be exciting. At the moment, we're just going into qualifying. So you are going to have time to, as you always do, go and get a drink, grab some popcorn, chill out here, because it's going to be a special one. Suzuka is a special track in general with people as well. And, everybody loves Suzuka. Turn 1 is a very special corner that's going to be tough on cars. It's very long, wide left entry before, you're going round the right-hander. And then you're going to go up through the snake section and then through the Dunlop curve and down into the Degner 1 and 2. But Aiden Young was looking strong. He did well in the Americas. So he's going to be definitely one to be watching here this evening at the same time. And I think that's going to be where the main area of battles will come along, I think from the guys at the front. At the end of the day, Young took a 3rd place on Thursday. So he knows his way around Suzuka. He's not no slouch with it. He might be competing in both the series, but he's not overall a slouch at all. So Aidan Young is going to be doing a stellar job. And we obviously know about Daniel Tilmas, we know about Vince Peders, we know about Philip Hammer. Can Aidan Young mix it up? Is he going to be able to get in there and start nestling amongst these guys and putting them off earlier on? Well, time will tell, and we're going to find out in the next 6.5 minutes as we're going to come through the end of Qualy. But I hope you're all having a fabulous evening. Hope you're all having a wonderful time, and I can only hope that you've had a great Sunday here this evening, because it is might be a busy one. Very busy one today, and obviously when we're heading off to sunny Spain tomorrow, it's going to be even more exciting for me there. But Qualy is underway. We will take you on a lap once Aidan Young gets past the Casio Triangle, and then we'll give you a full lap of Suzuka. Okay, here we go. He's heading around the Casio Triangle now. We'll jump on board with him and we can have a look and see how he's going to get on here coming down that start-finish straight. He's going to be a max with this car all the way down. 6th gear, full flat. Dirt track on the left-hand side. There is going to be start braking, bringing it down now into 5th, 4th, and sliding the car. Aidan Young. Okay, well, that's just about going to put the end to that lap, I'm sorry to say. Whereas Vince Peders is just coming in to turn 1. He keeps it more on track into 3rd gear, goes into 4th for the first section of this snake section. Left, right, down through 30 goes, then left again for this long run round. And then we're going into the anti-banked corner before we head off around Dunlop. 3rd gear up into 4th now we go with Peders. Then we're going to come into the Degner 1 and 2. So first will be Degner 1, right-hander, keeping it on the curb as best we can. Second Degner 2, get into the dip on the right-hand side before we go off around the hairpin now. As well onto the brakes, we're going to be coming into this hairpin. 2nd gear round we go. He's running hot. Completely running a little bit hot there, and round that run now, 200 hard, his long right-hander, trying to gain as much speed as we possibly can. Times are going to start coming in soon, and then onto the brakes just at the service road. 4th, 3rd, keeping it on track as much as possible, getting it off the curb before you hit the grass, taking that apex, and now on to the throttle we go. 4th gear. Now we're going to go up into 5th. We're coming up now into the important section, the 130R. He's got to keep it on track. Is he going to lift a little bit? Just. And then on we go once more, keeping it on track. Oh, under the bridge, on the brakes. 2nd gear, taking over the chicane, left. Now he's going to try and hunt that wall. He wants to take the shortest route possible. Personally, I'd be over to the right-hand side a little bit more, but then, as I say, I'm not a driver. And Peders goes across the line. What does he do there as well? 2:02, 2:41. Stunning lap from Vince Peders, with Spencer Marsh looking quite nice as well in the Pro and AMS category. Obviously, the green are the pros, the white are the AMS. And at the moment, it is currently Jason Lyons in the AMS, leading away in 1st place with Alexander Wilfer behind him here as well. Spencer Marsh is just going down the long run, down the backstretch before we go into 130R. Let's see how he gets on here. Hello, go Niall, says Eric. That'll kill him. He is currently 2nd in the AMS. He's just jumped up into 2nd place with a 2:04.422 there. Oh, Spencer Marsh. That's not a way to do it. And Bernardo Faria has coming down to the hairpin. He's set a time of a 2:02.204 at the moment, as he's going off around the hairpin there as well. Jason Lyons is another man that looks like he's been going quicker over his lap time already. Greens across the board. Torsten Sievert in 6th is also going quicker as he goes around Spoon and then down that back stretch as well. So we can finish off the lap with Torsten Sievert here, and we'll see what sort of time he can get on the board. Can can he get lower? Can he get into the 202s? Depending on what his greens are. He's got yellows in the first and fourth sector. So from Sievert's point of view, what is he going to be able to do? Jump on board into the last chicane we go. To the right, to the left. And then we're going to hug the curb. He wants to keep it to the wall as much as he can. Take that shortest route. For Seifert here, what can he do across the line? He's got green in the last one. 203, moves into the 202s. Absolutely stunning job from him. What about Niall Killen coming down that back stretch as well? Philip Hammer's been going quicker. Hammer's sitting down in 12th at the moment. Not an ideal run for him. And Hammer comes across the line. Puts himself up into second place. Corey Lazarus in 6th. Niall Killen there as well. Both round about the same part of the circuit, unfortunately. Lazarus going to come across the line, taking the left-hand side in. What is he going to do? What about Killen? Is he still going to do the same thing? Over the line as well. Killen stays where he is in 11th. Lazarus goes down to 7th. Thomas has just gone across the line and taken a position away from him. There is Daniel Thomas. There is Corey Lazarus. Spencer Marsh still going once more. He can finish off this lap, can Spencer? Let's see how he gets on. Round he goes again. Hugging the right-hand side. Over the line. 9th place, Spencer Marsh there. Kenny Eckert has got the most amount of laps remaining. He's got about 8 seconds left. He's not going to make that, unfortunately for Kenny. That off-track's not going to do him well there, unfortunately for him. So, all right, let's bring you up the grid for the race. We've got 18 cars on track here. Bernardo Farah in first, Philip Hammer second, Vince Paders third, Aidan Young fourth, Jordan Strudwick fifth, Daniel Thomas sixth, Corey Lazarus seventh, Torsten Seaver eighth, Spencer Marsh ninth, and Emil Koopmans in 10th. Then we go into the AMS. It's Jason Lyons is the first place man in the AMS with Niall Killen behind him. Alexander Wilfert behind that, Alexander Redhead in 14th, Mark De Bruin 15th, Mark Oliver 16th, Danny Hugendorf down in 17th there as well, with Kenny Eckert being the last man on the grid. Not ideal from Danny Hugendorf. I'm wondering if he's having some sort of, I don't know, maybe he had an issue or just couldn't quite hook up the lap here. So just going to wait for Bernardo Faria to get onto the grid once more before we take the start of this race. Okay, coming now. I haven't got long left, mind you. It's only about 40 seconds to get on to track. There's Bernardo Farah. There he is. Aidan Young is in 4th place. Lazarus is in 7th. It's not on. Killen Wilfert's just got on. Hugendorf and Eckert as well. Is Eckert going to make this with Lazarus? 1:36 on the clock. Has not got long left at all. So hopefully he will be able to make this one. Kenny Eckert. There we go. Eckert's just come on. The lights are going to be coming on very, very shortly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are green, green, green here for round 10 of the PCUP live from Suzuka. Faria trying to come across and block Hammer. There's going to be contact. Faria's gone to the other side. Trying to run him around the outside now as well. Can Hammer get up on the inside? His nose was taken off by Faria there as well. Side by side round the snake as well. Faria swapped back. Hammer's trying to go back up the other side. A lot of movements from Bernardo Faria there as well. No major incidents currently at the moment apart from Alexander Wilfer going off down into turn 1. But Daniel Thomas is also in this scrap as well. Spencer Marsh is just trying to clear Torsten Seaver there at the same time. And Spencer, the Canadian in the number 34, has got past Seaver at the same time. Koopmans is also trying as well. Nothing given there. Paders, Hammer and Faria off through Degner 1, dropping down into Degner 2 they go, the right-hander. Now on to the up in that run into the hairpin. Aidan Young there with a big old off track on the left-hand side. Farrier was lucky at the beginning. There was a lot of movement across backwards and forwards that he unfortunately did at some point nearly take the nose off Philip Hammer, which could have been a little bit dangerous, to be fair, because at the end of the day it could have caused both men to have an issue. Emil Koopmans has had an issue and has dropped all the way down to the nearly the last place. He's only behind Alexander Wilfert here as well. And Wilfert is a long way back. But here at the front is Peders, Hammer, Young and Farrier. Is Farrier going to get away? We go on board with Vince Peders now. We're going to go around 130R, the left-hander. Slight little lift to get the car settled down. Big old off track there from Peders. Running around the outside line onto the brakes into Casio Triangle. Aidan Young overshot it. Nearly. How did he miss Vince Peders there? Well, I don't really know how he did it, but Jordan Strudwick is going to try and run him around the outside here. And Aidan Young is in all sorts of trouble. He missed his braking zone going down into Casio. And now he's under attack. They're going to be three wide. Strudwick, Young, Lazarus. Lazarus backed out. Strudwick come round. He's gone in hot into turn one. Lazarus has gone through. Young's managed to survive. Thomas has also just cleared Strudwick as well. A lot of mistakes going on here. And unfortunately for these guys with 15 minutes on the clock, it's not ideal that you be making these mistakes already. And Jordan Strudwick is another man there that missed out. Unfortunately, he made a mistake, and that was the problem. Gainers and losers on the left-hand side. Lazarus up 2, Marsh up 1, Redhead 4, Hugendorn up 6, Oliver up 4, and unfortunately Wilfer has gone into the pits and has now come back out here as well. So he's back out on track. But Hammer and Peders are slowly losing contact to Farrier as he's on his way up into the hairpin section, the right-hander. And unfortunately, it looks like Peders and Hammer just have not got the pace to keep with Farrier here this evening. And I think they're going to be under pressure. I think Hammer's going to be able to pull away on this one. And he's going to be able to make his way up front even further. Lazarus is tucked up behind Young. Emil Koopmans has passed Kenny Eckert. Danny Hugendorn got past Alexander Redhead. And Emil Koopmans passed Mark De Bruin. So De Bruin down here with Koopmans just in front of him here at the moment as these guys are going into Spoon. But Aidan Young and Vince Peders, there is poor old Young with Lazarus behind him, 1.85 seconds back. Hammer has not got that much of a gap to Peders. Onto the brakes they go once more into Casio Triangle. Can Aidan Young make this as well? He does. What about Jordan Strudwick? Through without any problems. Daniel Thomas looks like he got a lot smoother exit out of Casio here and is now trying to chase down the Corey Lazarus from the Blackout Motorsports here. Don't forget, Blackout do sponsor this event as well, based in Brisbane, Australia. So if you're ever out there and you ever have any problems with their electricity, you can get hold of them there. Danny Hugendorn on the left-hand side, the 992. Couldn't get past Jason Lyons this time as round, but it is Alexander Redhead off. Alexander Redhead went off track all on his own there, and unfortunately for him, that was the lead of the AMS that he's just gone and lost. So the lead of the AMS for Alexander Redhead has just gone out the window for him, and I think we can have a look back, see what he does here. He just comes down. I think he's just coming down way too hot. Drifts wide. Yeah. Car gets a tank slapper on, and unfortunately for Redhead, he's now into the barrier. So that is going to put Jason Lyons out in front with Danny Hugendorn chasing him down. Niall Killen is now in second place. The guys up front are slowly losing contact. Wilfer has unfortunately had a big off again. That's again down in turn one for Wilfer. Not an ideal scenario for him. He's not loving turn one currently at the moment. And I am wondering whether or not he went around on his own. Oh, Mark Oliver as well. Oliver in that beautifully liveried Porsche on the run up into the hairpin. Oh, just goes in way too hot there. Oh, and that was Mark De Bruin as well. De Bruin getting a bit of a tank slapper on the exit of the hairpin. Farrier's time has come down to Hammer at the moment. It was down below 5 tenths and is now sitting at 4.6. And Vince Paders is trying to mix it up here with these front three. So we'll keep an eye on these front three at the moment here. And it is Farrier, Hammer, Paders, Young, Lazarus. You can see Lazarus just pulling out there. Thomas, Strudwick, Marsh and Seifert. Behind that is your top 9, and your top 9 are pros. And with the top 8 reverse, it's going to be Spencer Marsh will be sat on pole this time around. So let's see how these guys get on here as well. Good evening, guys. Well, really not many here. FYI, I am out for the season and reevaluate if I'll be back at all, says Gordon Ramsay. Oh, Mr. Ramsay, is there a problem, sir? Is there anything we can do to assist you to get you back in the Cup car once more for the P-Cup season? Mark De Bruin here with Kenny Eckert as well. These guys are out in front. De Bruin in 16th, Eckert 15th, chasing down Mark Oliver. Don't forget, these 3 guys have all been involved in their own little incidents or spins and going down into the hairpin. Oliver as well was at the hairpin. Unfortunately, went in way too hot, tried to turn the car around, and unfortunately he went off as well. And the same with De Bruin. He got a big tank slapper coming out of the hairpin. So it was this section here that these guys did seem to struggle with. And of course, Alexander Vedder put himself off in turn 1. But Farrier still managing to hold on to this lead from Hammers and Paders. And Vince Paders coming down now that backstretch before we go into Casio around 130R. Around 130R we go with Vince Paders here. And Hammer and Farrier, they are your front 3. Literally 7 tenths separates the 2 of them. Or all the 3 of them really. 0.8 back to Paders. Farrier weaves one way, then he weaves the other. Are we going to go one more? Because, you know, I do love a bit of weaving down the straight, of course, but I prefer if you could only make the one move rather than making any more. Farrier did just do that. He went once and then, oh, he's on the grass now. Is this going to be Hammer's chance up through the S's? Left-hander. Hammer takes a very tight line through that second part before they get round to the anti-banked. Oh, contact with Hammer and Paders. That ain't what you want. You've gone from 3 tenths to 1.3. Mark De Bruin's had an off. Aiden Young as well. Young has dropped all the way down. Oh, Aiden Young. What have you been up to coming into the S's? Oh, he's on. No, it's coming out of spoon. Out of spoon for Aiden Young on lap 5. He caught the curb on the left-hand side, and you see what effect it had on the car. Just spun him round. And unfortunately for him, it was all done and dusted. Around he went for Aiden Young, and not an ideal scenario here as well for him. But once more we go. And hopefully Aiden Young will be able to recover. He's currently sitting in 9th. He needs to get Torsten Sievert for that top 8 reverse, of course. But hoping we'll just have to hope and make sure that he can, if he can get there. Otherwise he's going to be starting in 9th place and not the first place that he could ideally do with. Doesn't really want to be this down in 9th for that feature race, especially as close it is currently at the top of the championship, of course. Let's not forget there is barely any points between Hammer, Young and Paders. There's 32 from Paders to Hammer, and there's only 12 from Young to Hammer. So not much points here as well, and Aiden Young cannot afford to be losing these places. He needs to get past Torsten Sievert here. 4.5 minutes remaining. Hammer and Paders still having their own little battle. Paders, Paders gone wide into turn 1. He's going to drop back into the clutches of Lazarus. Danny Hugendorn trying to chase down Jason Lyons, and as he has done for the pretty much the majority of the race. Hugendorn trying to run around the outside of turn 1. Not done. Is he going to get him up through the SS section here? He's going to go left, then he's going to go right, and he's just going to drop further back, unfortunately for him. So, unfortunately for Danny Hugendorn, nothing doing currently at the moment. 3.5 minutes remaining here. So, not long to go for these guys. And it is Barrier, Hammer, Peters, Lazarus out in front at this moment in time. And let's see if these guys can hang on here and who's going to come out on top. Who will be victorious? Well, we're going to find out soon enough. We go into 3.5 minutes remaining here. They got a 2:02, 2:03 lap time. So if Farrier does get across the line once more here, it's going to be whether or not he's going to be able to get under that 2:02 window. We're going to have one and one more. I think it's going to be 8 laps altogether. So we'll keep an eye on it. See how this one works out. 2:53 on the clock. There is going to be one and one more. 2 laps to go. It's going to be an 8-lap race in this 15 minutes. So that puts the next feature of 30 minutes. It's going to be about 16 laps. Yeah, but it is Barrier out in front. Hammer 0.9 behind that. Peters 1.9 back from Farrier as well. Lazarus 3.3 seconds back. Now the intervals to each driver. That's the situation at the moment. 18 cars on track only here, and it's Hugendorn in 11th with Strudwick in 6th and Hammer in 2nd. That's the closest battles on track at the moment. And Danny Hugendorn trying to chase down Jason Lyons. These guys have pretty much been close together all the way through. And well, it's going to have to keep trying a little bit more. Is Danny Hugendorn. Doesn't seem to be able to make it. But neither, to be honest, is Philip Hammer or Jordan Strudwick or Aidan Young. Now Young especially needs to be making this, partly because of where he is. He needs that pole. He's got one more lap to do it, but he needs that pole. Oh, Danny Hugendorn there is closing in on Jason Lyons. Looks like Lyons looked like he may have made a mistake. And that's allowed Hugendorn to close up right behind him on that run into the hairpin. Is Hugendorn going to take a dive? He's not. What's happening with Aidan Young? Oh. He's lost a chunk of time for Aidan Young. He did have it down below 9 tenths. Back out again. Oh, Seifert locked up. Oh, that's Marsh. Is Young going to get saved by Marsh's mistake on the exit of Spoon? Can Aidan Young get this now? It's going to be the question. Round 130 we go. What's going to happen with Marsh and Seivert up front? Aidan Young keeps it on track. Casio triangle now. Final lap of the race. Oh. Young, sir. Yeah. Well, unfortunately for you, it's going to be all over. And it looks like Danny Hugendorn has run off as well. He managed to keep it on track. Jason Lyons has kept it going. Danny Hugendorn just kept it going as well. Final lap of the race. And unfortunately for Young there, kind of all on you, I'm afraid. I don't like normally pointing blame here, but when we're definitely going to go and try and dive a gap, that was he alongside? Was he? Was he not? Yeah, I'm erring on the side there that may have tried to go for a gap when when unfortunately Marsh was already trying to turn. I think that's where some of this comes quite tricky here, because at the end of the day, Marsh was already kind of trying to turn the corner. And once you've committed to your line that you're turning, he's turning now, you can't really do a lot about that. You can't come and just magically disappear, unfortunately, for Aidan Young. Daniel Thomas, Jordan Stradwick round the spoon. Thomas on the right, Stradwick on the left-hand side. It's going to be a straight run down the back stretch now. Contact, steady. A little bit of door running. Stradwick's on the inside line for 130R. And he does manage it to take it and hold on, but it is going to be Bernardo Faria just out in front. He must have lost a chunk of time there. Faria takes a win here this evening in the sprint race. And it's going to be Jason Lyons for the AMS. And Jason Lyons there, comes over, takes the victory, with Niall Killen coming across in second place. And then, of course, Alexander Redhead battled his way back into third. Great job from him, considering where he went off. He went off, obviously, lap 1 for Redhead, turn 1, sorry, on lap 2. And then manages to battle his way back for him. Stunning comeback for them. So we will bring you up the standings very, very shortly. Just waiting for Kenny Eckert to come across the line. And then Alexander Wilfer on that run down through 130R. There's Wilfer across the line. Goes across the line backwards. Good job, sir. Right. Here are the results from Heat 1. And it was Bernardo Faria out in front, Philip Hammer in second, Vince Peders third, Corey Lazarus fourth, Jordan Stradwick fifth, Daniel Thomas sixth, Torsten Sievert seventh, Spencer Marsh eighth, Jason Lyons ninth, Emil Koopmans is in 10th, Danny Hugendorn 11th, Niall Killen 12th, Aidan Young 13th, you're going to be 13th. Alexander Redhead 14th, Mark De Bruin 15th, Mark Oliver 16th, Kenny Eckert 17th, Alexander Wilfer is down in 18th place there. But now, got a brief warm-up period. It'll be 2 seconds. I'm just going to go grab a drink and I'll be right back. Okay, back we come. Philip Hammer's come out onto the track. I'm surprised it's come out so late in the day, considering we've got about 18 seconds left of practice. Alan Prost Young was a bit ambitious. Yeah, see, that's the thing. He was a long way back on that move. And, you know, Spencer Marsh was already turning the corner. I know we sit back and go, if you're alongside, yada, I get all that. But, yeah, that was a little bit of a hi-ho silver moment and just hoped that he would be seen. And unfortunately, he wasn't. But, from Spencer Marsh's point of view, he's going to be in first place. Spencer Marsh in first, Torsten Sievert second, Daniel Thomas third, Jordan Stradwick fourth, Corey Lazarus fifth, Vince Peders sixth, Philip Hammer seventh, Bernardo Faria eighth, Jason Lyons ninth, Emil Koopmans 10th, Danny Hugendorn in 11th with Niall Killen down in 12th place. Then behind that we've got Aidan Young in 13th, Alexander Redhead 14th, Mark De Bruin 15th, Mark Oliver 16th, Kenny Eckert 17th, and Alexander Wilfer is in 18th place. So here we go for the second race. 30 minutes, top 8 reverse, of course. That's why Spencer Marsh is on pole. Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, Mr. Ramsey, sir, I think he was definitely a little bit ambitious that he was going to make that corner. I know the argument might be that he was alongside, and yeah, I just can't really see that that's an argument. I've got to be honest, you've got to be able to make sure that you can make the corner, and clearly he was never going to make that corner. The lights are going to be coming on, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights now. And Spencer Marsh is away here. There was a big old start from Danny Hugendorn. Vince Pader's also got an exceptional start as well. They're going to be nearly 4 wide. They're crashing on the straight. Spencer Marsh and Torsten Siever on a straight. Not ideal. There's Chaos, Jordan Strudwick, Philip Hammer, Corey Lazarus as well. And it is Daniel Thomas with Vince Pader's in second. Farrier got third in the end after all of that. And Aidan Young battled back into fourth. But that was a bit chaotic there from the guys up front. Spencer Marsh and Siefer there were, I'm not quite sure why they were leaning on each other down into turn one. You were never going to really make it. And then, of course, we've got Strudwick also had an incident. And his was with Philip Hammer. And Corey Lazarus. So some of the big guns out early. Hammer now down in 17th place there. But I want to have a look at this. This was so bizarre. I can't believe they actually managed to take each other out on the straight. They're away here. Siever's on the right. He comes over. Marsh just... I'm not really sure what Marsh did. And then Hammer... Strudwick gets out of control, hits Lazarus, hits Hammer, puts Hugendorn off as well. And that's how they all ended up down the back. But I think that was definitely ambitious here. And for Daniel Thomas, it's worked out all right because he's out in front. But unfortunately, he's got Bernardo Farrier, who's already gained 6 positions, sitting in second place here. Payders is trying to go around, basically back round under the undercut on him. Is he going to try and go into Casio? Is not. Is Cookman's going to stop the car? Young goes again. He's got to be careful trying to make that move. Cookman's has got to defend the wall all day. All day, because Young's going to get a run out on him. But Thomas is still out in front with Farrier and Payders. Payders has got to be looking at going up the inside. He is not doing there. Young on Cookman's. Young is through. He got through. The door was left open by Cookman's error. I think that was probably more erring on the side of caution. The fact that he didn't quite know whether or not Aidan Young was going to come and join him. But Farrier has lost that place to Payders now. Payders is in second. Farrier in third. With Daniel Thomas out in front. That is currently as it is currently at the moment. And Farrier, Thomas, Payders are your 1, 2, 3. Strudwick's trying to come back past Alexander Redhead here. Needs to be a little bit careful, mate. You know, I get that you're trying to go through and you're probably faster, but at the same time, you know, you need to do it in a clean manner. And Philip Hammer, well, he's just trying to pick up the pieces from his race after that turn 1 incident where Strudwick lost it and unfortunately hit into Hammer. Thomas has backed everybody up into that hairpin. Thomas has got Payders, Farrier, Young. So Thomas still under attack from Payders coming out of Spoon now. Payders is a lot closer than he was last time out. That's how close he is. He's trying to get a move on. Or is there going to be contact down into 130? There's not. Is it going to be Casio? Payders is going to be looking at trying to make the inside line now. Try and not force your way through. He's gone on defensive. His position, his car in a position where Farrier couldn't get through. Neither could Aidan Young. Young's dropped back a little bit. De Bruin here swapping places. Somebody's off track in front. De Bruin's also off track as well. And unfortunately for De Bruin, that didn't work out quite as well as it probably should have done. And De Bruin is down in 10th place now. Payders has gone past Thomas, taking the inside line down into turn 1. Thomas is going to try and switch back. He's not going to be able to get it done this time around. And Jordan Strudwick's had to jump to the pits. Strudwick is out, unfortunately. And he's in pit lane here. Farrier sitting in 3rd place. Cookmans is in the pits as well. What did Strudwick get himself into? Oh, around 130R into the wall. That's why everybody had to try and go around Strudwick. Yeah, that's where De Bruin went off there as well on the onboard. So that's why De Bruin was off track. So unfortunately for him, it's now leaving Peters, Thomas and Farrier with Young, your top 4. Wilfer here is trying to get away from Mark. Oh, he's trying to get up to, Alexander Redhead. And then Philip Hammer is trying to close his way back through Mark De Bruin. Okay, can Hammer clear De Bruin here on that run into Spoon? Obviously, Philip Hammer, De Bruin and Hammer a pro. Oh, don't want to be on that curb. We saw what happened to Aidan Young on that curb in race 1. Daniel Thomas is now under attack from Farrier. Farrier is just going to send it on the Intercassio triangle. Again, that idea is the dangers of doing that. I get you want to send it, and I get you want to get through, but you can't be doing that. Unfortunately for him, Bernardo Farrier, it's just a bit of an overzealous move, should we say, down into Casio. You know, you're coming in quite hot anyway. Not entirely sure what he was kind of full on expecting. Thomas gave him room. Thomas can't go anywhere else. He gave him room around the outside, unfortunately, and Farrier just ended up going round. So, unfortunately for Bernardo Farrier in the Casio triangle, he was come a cropper as we've got 23 minutes remaining here. Daniel Thomas sitting in 2nd place. Peters has already gone down the line. Aidan Young is now closing in on 3rd, but you can see the battle further down with Redhead, Wilfer and Lazarus. Lazarus trying to get through as well after being caught up in that turn 1 incident. So Corey Lazarus now trying to battle his way back through here this evening. You're going to try and go around the outside. Not this time. Wilfer holding on strong on the run round now into Spoon. Round 200R to go. Oh, Lazarus is going to go try and go up the inside. The doors are always going to close. Muscles Wilfer out. Wilfer's not giving up though. He did give it up that time. He got muscled out onto that outside curb, and even Wilfer knows once you start playing with curbs and putting your foot on them, it's never going to work, unfortunately for him. So he's just gone out into 8th place. Corey Lazarus managed to battle his way back now. Sitting in 8th, he's got a Redhead up the road, 0.6. Young has got Thomas sitting there as well. So here we go, Aidan Young. Can he get onto the back of Thomas? We've got 20 minutes remaining here this evening in this feature race. So let's see how it all goes on as these guys snake up through the S's. This is one of the closest battles. The other one is with Mr. Lazarus, Redhead and Wilfer further down. There is Niall Killen sitting in 2nd place in the AMS. Jason Lyons 4th overall, leading the AMS currently. And Corey Lazarus is trying to put it up the outside of Redhead there. Brave man to try and be making any moves through the S's. Around Dunlop we go now, left-hander for Corey Lazarus. Oh, Redhead gets a little bit of a lock-up, gets a bit of a bad entry and exit out of Dunlop now. No, not down into Degner 1. You don't want to be doing that. And Wilfert's behind in Degner 2. really needs to be a little bit closer. Lazarus is going to try and... No, he's not. Redhead just defends that part of the circuit. You see him just position his car in a way where Lazarus was not able to get through. So, unfortunately for him, not able to get through this time around. So, here we go. Corey Lazarus still fighting it down. Redhead now just about to lose the position to Wilfer. Hammer trying to come through at the same time. Daniel Thomas has got Aiden Young tucked up right behind him coming down into turn one. Okay, on the accelerator pedal we go. Once more here for these guys. Aiden Young, Daniel Thomas coming in to Degner 1 through Degner 2. Up into the hairpin. Once more, lap 6, 18 minutes on the clock. Philip Hammer has now got to try and get past Redhead. So can Hammer clear Redhead this time around? Can Young get past Thomas up front? Looking lively coming down into Casio. We've seen this before, unfortunately. Whoa! Thomas there with almost like a big checkup on Aiden Young. There he goes, through he goes. To the left-hand side, and it's still Young making his way through. Can Hammer get onto the back of Redhead? Into Casio Triangle they go. Hammer making his way now. Can't get past him this time around with Young. But Thomas is sitting in second still. He's opened it out. He's got about 0.43 over Young. But can he hold on? That's going to be the question as we go into the final 15 minutes here. Right, further down the order, Philip Hammer. Still not cleared Alexander Redhead yet as well, going into the hairpin. So unfortunately, not going to be able to get through. But Hammer, he's got to try and get him somewhere else on track. He is looking like he's relatively close. Can he get him down into Spoon? Is he going to try and run him around the outside now? Has Redhead's defences defended and folded? That's going to be the question. No, not this time around. Hammer cannot get there. Thomas is still now driving a stellar job. Young still tucked up behind him with 15 minutes. With Faria here as well. Can Farrier get involved in this battle with Aiden Young? Is he going to be able to get involved? That's going to be the question. Farrier, Young, and also Thomas, your second, third, and fourth place. Goes Young now, still round Degner 1, in through Degner 2. Car number 15 there, Kenny Eckert is not having a good time a little bit, unfortunately, at the moment. He's just gone off track. Once more, coming out of one out. Into Casio he goes for Eckert. Locks up too much speed there, sir. Never going to make that. Danny Hugendorn. Oh, no. Danny Hugendorn's off. Did he do? Going up through. The S's here for Hugendorn. Doesn't look like he's going overly fast currently at the moment, but I'm wondering if that may have had something to do with this. Down into turn 1. Round he goes for Hugendorn. No, it doesn't look anything drastic. I'm a bit confused why he went into the pits there. But Young, Thomas and Farrier battling away. Redhead doing an amazing job, well done. Yeah, he is. Currently sitting in 10th place is Alexander Redhead. So stellar job from him. Farrier is now chasing down Young down into turn 1. So Farrier, Aiden Young, is Farrier going to be looking at making a move on the inside? Not this time around. Don't think it's going to be long, no. He goes after Aiden Young in the fiercely forward car. Once more over the curb. Up through the S's we go. Through the second part. To the right hander now before we go down into Dunlop. Into Degner 1 and 2. Right-handed out for Farrier. He's got to go onto the brakes, drop it down, 4th gear, send it, let the car run into Degner 2, drop down in the dip. You need the inside dip if you can. He's trying to bully Aiden Young off that inside line. Young's got to try and keep it tight. Surprised he went there. Farrier's trying to send it around the outside now. Thomas gets all out of shape currently at the moment as well. Round 200R. The long right hander up through the gears. 5th gear we are now currently. Right hand corner. Taking it there. Is he going to be looking at the inside? Aiden Young's trying to go up the... Wow. What was that? Wow. Contact from Young, and that was off Young's nose. You're wondering where the contact was from. Just there. And Daniel Thomas goes round there again. Yeah, never mind. Aiden Young in the pit lane. On the right hand side there. That Aiden Young looks like he's got a drive-through penalty. That only comes at the incident limits, of course. So Aiden Young got a drive-through penalty there. And unfortunately, for Aiden Young, well, drops down the order. So, yeah, not ideal for Aiden Young. Drive-through penalty, still got 10 minutes remaining. That's an early one. Do you think someone's feathers are a bit ruffled? Do you know, the problem is, right, it's not about, it's ruffled. You can't be going under the presumption that you're quicker and you're allowed to go through. It doesn't work like it. You've got to make people, you know, you want to make overtakes, that's fine, but you can't be sending it nose deep, hoping that people are just going to Houdini out the way. It can't work out like that. You can't expect people to jump out the way. You know, he's a young kid, he's like 13 and a half years of age, and he's got to understand that you can't be doing that. You've got to allow people to take their line. He was never going to make that. That's not the first time that he was trying some crazy overtakes at certain points, though. And unfortunately for him, this is what happens. A drive through 10 minutes, you know, 20 minutes is taken to get a full X limit and a drive through. You know, it's just not cricket. I don't get that. If you've taken that long to get that limit already, you know, every 15 incidents, isn't it? He needs to be sensible. You can't just presume that Houdini's going to be able to jump out of the way. Your car's there. You know, Daniel Thomas's car was there. I'm not even sure what he did, but you know, and he done it. It was him and Spencer Marsh in race 1. So yeah, I think there may need to be some self-reflection after this race. I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, we're supposed to be sitting up here and be all diplomatic, but that's just trying to dive gaps, hoping that the car's going to move. Never going to happen. Unfortunately, people are not going to be able to jump out the way. So as diplomatic as I would love to be here for Aidan Young, when he is on form, he's on form. But when he's not on, you know, you can't be doing that. I've got to be honest. Can't be doing that. It's just not cricket. You know, if you wanted to get past people, you get past them, but sending them off into another realm because of frustrations or ruffled feathers or, you know, whatever the situation may be. No. You can't just do that. But, you know, whether or not that's going to be looked at, what the situation will be, maybe Michael will grab hold of him and have a word, I don't know. But, yeah, trying to dive Spencer Marsh at the beginning, I'm not quite sure where Marsh was supposed to go in race 1. Marsh was already on his angle turning. You can't expect people to leave your room. You know, and race 2, well, yeah. And a drive through, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to get 15 instant points. I don't really know what to say on that one. Apart from, you know, onwards and upwards, my dear. Onwards and upwards we go. Once more into the breach with Philip Hammer. Oh, Killen's doing a stellar job, 5th overall at the moment. However, he does have Corey Lazarus closing him down from the Blackout Solutions. Don't forget, Blackout are one of our sponsors this evening. So go and check them out, Blackout Electrical Solutions. So definitely go and have a look at them. Based in Brisbane, Australia, serving South East Queensland. Electricians specialising in commercial, industrial renovations and fit-outs, power systems analysis and switchboard replacements. So if you want to ever have a blackout in Australia and you need some sorted out, give these guys a call here, represented by Corey Lazarus and, of course, Samuel Sproul, who is in, obviously, the American series, the Americas. Lazarus making contact with Niall Killen. Not entirely sure that would have been the solution, but Aidan Young and Philip Hammer are closing up now. 4 attempts back with Young to Hammer, unfortunately. So it's going to have to be... Young needs to be a little bit more careful. Killen is coming, Killen is front, but Hammer's coming. So, and Philip Hammer isn't one that's going to be a slouch about the situation. Young's, well, too deep into the hairpin. And unfortunately for Aidan Young, he's just lost a place to Philip Hammer. The German has just managed to get past him. So, is Young going to be able to try and come back at him again? Or what the situation will be? But this is, as you can see, your closest battle on track. So from Aidan Young's point of view, he's got to try and go once more. Going to be tough. No point trying to stick a nose out there. You want to be offline for 130R, that's up to you, but you're going to be running out on that outside dirt. You need to just follow your racing line through 130R. Try and get a run off you can off the chicane, tidy it up. Round the Casio triangle you go. You've got a standard exit the same as everybody else. But Hammer has also got a good one and he's being towed along by Killen. Killen goes all the way here to the other side of the track. He's going to move over and allow Philip Hammer and Aidan Young through. No need for him to get involved. He's free sitting. Killen is second in the arms at the moment. Really no choice. He might as well just stay where he is. No need to get involved with Lyons out in front by 10 seconds. Hammer trying to get through on Aidan Young. Here we go. Philip Hammer, Aidan Young. We've got Vince Peters out in front by about 8.5 seconds currently. 8.7. Barrier behind him in second place. Thomas behind that in third. Lazarus fourth. Hammer fifth. Young starting to drop out of the order as well. From Philip Hammer. So Aidan Young looking like he's losing time over Philip Hammer and he's dropping out now. He's more into the gap. He's more closer to Niall Killen than he is Philip Hammer. Can Killen get him? It's going to be an interesting one. Going into the last 3.3 minutes. Vince Peters is going to come across the line. There's going to be one and one more here this evening. From the Visceral Esports team, Vince Peters in first place. Across the line he goes. One and one more. 2 laps remaining. Daniel Thomas slowly closing on in the back end of Jason Lyons here. I don't really feel Lyons needs to get himself involved in this. I've got to be honest. Thomas is kind of on a recovery in race 2 after being tapped, should we say, by Mr. Aidan Young. So, unfortunately, Thomas is trying to come back through, so trying to chase back through. No, Killen. He's got Aidan Young in front of him now. Killen 3 attempts back. Can Killen get close enough to have a go on the final lap? That's going to be an interesting one. Killen's shot back now. Thomas is closing in on Lyons. Going around the hairpin now. Oh, Lyons has gone a little bit wonky donkey coming out. Round 200R they go. Daniel Thomas sitting now in prime spot to have a go out of spoon. Your leader Vince Peters is coming down the order in first place. He's going to be starting the last lap of the race. He's just gone round. Coming into Casio Triangle now. Vince Peters. Is Thomas going to be able to have a go at Lyons? Lyons again doesn't really need to fight this one. Not at all. He can just move. Peters is going to come around and take the final lap. Lyons has no need to get involved if Thomas is going to have a go at you, sir. Because at the end of the day, you are through. Final lap of the race. Peters there takes the white flag. Faria is 16 seconds. There is Faria there. There is Lyons. 3.5 back from him currently at the moment. And Daniel Thomas again. Lyons goes on the defensive. Lyons is trying to hold that defensive line from Thomas. He's defending it. Fair play to Jason Lyons. You know, he's only got about a 4.3k difference between him and Thomas. Lyons at a 1.8, Thomas at a 5.5 to 4.3k. So Big old difference. Jason Lyons hanging on here. Doing an absolutely stellar job. Spencer Marsh trying to go onto the back of Mark de Bruin as these guys come across the line as well. Your leader is going into the hairpin for the final time, but Daniel Thomas still cannot clear Jason Lyons here. And no matter which way we look at it, unless there was some major drama, Lyons is going to be victorious in the arms section. In the arms here, with Killen going to be taking second place. And then Redhead will be in third, and it is going to be Paters in the pros. I don't think that's going to be up for debate. Thomas is trying to run Manny outside the lines. You're a brave man there. That could be race ending for both of you. Lyons has got to let him go. Yeah, there we go. Right thing to do from Lyons. Really, no need to get involved with that one. Paters is coming through. Casio Triangle now for the final time. It is going to be Vince Paters. Barrier in second, and then Thomas will come across in third, but here comes Paters for the final time. Great job from him. Takes the victory. Ronaldo Farrier coming across the line in second. So stellar job from Farrier. And then Daniel Thomas going to come over across the line in third, with Lyons in first in the arms. There's Lyons there, well done, great job. Corey Lazarus did get fifth, Hammer got sixth, Young got seventh, Killing 2 seconds back after that as well. Oh, hold on. Young went off track, then he went in deep. Surely he's got to slow down after that. The Gillen goes past. Maybe Young managed to clear the slowdown. Very interesting there. And we're just waiting for Kenny Eckert to come over the line. He's all the way up by Spoon, so we've got a little bit of a wait here. So Kenny Eckert coming through. Round the final corner he goes. And a stellar job from Eckert, finishing in 14th place. Hugendorn, Oliver, Strudwick and Koopmans did not finish the race. Don't forget, guys, as well, after this is finished, there is some radical action going off as we speak at the moment. And then we've got the Tanzo Racing Group GR86 round 3 and 4 from Virginia International. And then we've got the IGP Fun Formula 3 round 10 live from Twin Ring Matigi. That's with myself and Ewan O'Leary. I am straight off there after this one. But here are the results for the feature race. And it is Vince Paters in first, Bernardo Farrier in second, Daniel Thomas comes across the line in third place. Jason Lyons fourth, Corey Lazarus fifth, Philip Hammer sixth, Aidan Young seventh, Niall Killen eighth, Alexander Redhead 9th, Spencer March 10th, Mark de Bruin 11th, Alexander Wilfert 12th, Torsten Sievert 13th, Kenny Eckert 14th, Danny Hugendorn out, Mark Oliver out, Jordan Strudwick did not finish, and Emil Koopmans did not finish either. So there we go, guys. That brings us up to the end of round 9 and 10. Round 10, sorry, from Suzuka. Don't forget to join us next week as we are off to the wonderful Magny-Cours circuit. And then we're going to Long Beach for the final round here as well. Thanks so much for everybody that's come past. Join us in the broadcast. Rams Go Racing. Much love to you. Hope you are well. And hopefully we might see you back on track. Let me know either way, sir. Or reach out and we can have a chat as well. And Phil across the pond, as always, thank you so much for coming in. But for now, guys, from myself here up in the booth, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.